Welcome back. We're here with Nour, who is a musician. Nour, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Happy to be here with you, bro.
Yes, man. It is great to have you on. We met like years ago, and it's been cool to just watch your journey throughout the years, and now having you on, being able to talk about that journey. I'm just happy to have you here.
I appreciate you, man. I'm looking forward to it, bro. I've been looking forward to it, and I'm always happy to have a convo with you, bro.
Of course, it's always deep. So you started your music journey at the age of 14. What inspired you to pick up a pen and start writing your first song?
Honestly, man, it stemmed from a skill that I noticed I had with just literature and English in general. I really loved words and I really loved writing. And I was one of those just bookworms. I loved reading, and people were kind of getting into that phase of we didn't like to read. But I really like storytelling. And Eminem was just a big staple for me. I was always a big punk rock music fan until I heard Eminem, and that was my leeway into hip hop. And so just seeing the way he could put words together, I was like, with my knowledge and my appreciation for music and literature, I know I could do something like it.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like the perfect mix, right? Like you you kind of use that skill to then, like mix the beats, the music, the emotional part into it.
Exactly, 100%. I saw the connection between, the magic of words and the rhythm of music, and obviously the magic of music as well, and how it connects to us as humanity. It's an art, it's a therapy session, it's just a way that we can connect to the world on a bigger scale, just like looking at a painting. We listen to something and it
Yeah.
makes you feel a certain type of way. So, yeah, I saw a connection between literature, writing, words, and rhythm, poetry, and telling a story.
Yeah, and this kind of goes off of that. Like when you're creating a song, what relationship do you think the beat has with the words that you're actually singing?
That's a great question, bro. I think that every time it's special, and it just really depends on me as a writer. I can write things by themselves. I have a lot of writing sessions where I just write and I don't write to anything specifically. But when I am working on a song, I do love to hear the beat, feel the beat to get an idea of where the pen's direction is going to be going. Because a lot of the time, a good song could tell a great story over a great beat, but an amazing song, usually the beat will be telling as much of a story as the words are. And that's an
Yeah.
important medium to find. Like if you can find that middle ground, that's when songs turn from good to great, in my experience.
Yeah. And how do you make sure your music has emotions and makes people feel something?
Man, honestly, that's a little more natural for me. I'm a very emotional human being. I'm just like I feel the world very lucidly, and I really don't know how to hide my own personality for the even for the sake of good in me at times, and I need to be more down to earth and human, or be more NPC and bot, how the world
Yeah.
asks you to be at times. I just can't seem to move myself away from some of the feelings that I feel the strongest. So I feel like that's a little easier for me. It's the part of bringing my emotion to it. And yeah, man, I just think that the experience of music is a feeling experience. So it's hard for me to make anything, let alone put out anything that I don't truly feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think having that feeling and having that passion, it enables you to take your music to another level where versus if you were just doing it for money, because you can feel the things you are saying, people can actually feel. And there's, as you know, there's vibrations and there's things that we can't physically see that are coming through your song when you're singing it versus you just doing it for money or doing it just to do it.
100%. 100%. There's a connection between, yeah, real vibration and real, like, harmony is life, right? And rhythm is life. It's like we used to dance around in tribes around a fire before we ever had real instruments and speakers. And, rhythm and harmony was something that always existed just in our blood. We need to groove. We groove with life. We dance with life. So I feel like, yeah, definitely it makes it a lot more potent. And we're smarter than we've ever been, man. Human beings are smarter than they've ever been. We have access to more information than we've ever had. We can feel when something's from the heart and when it's for something else, man. We know, even if it's subconsciously, people can tell this guy does it for real, this guy does it for the bag.
Yeah. No, 100%. And you started documenting your music journey through content creation. What aspect of your music journey do you really want to highlight and show people?
I love that. I think I would like to highlight the music the most. I think that the creation of the music is the most important part, and then showing that it takes living life to make a beautiful creation. For a
Yeah.
lot of the time, I was very focused on like make a product, to make a product, to make a product. But when it comes to art, it's something completely different. You need to live your life and experience things naturally to then bring something beautiful to the plate. You can't just be like, I'm going to make something beautiful. Here we go. Snap my fingers, you know? It's not a 1 + 1 = 2 equation. So I think that that's something that I'm trying to document is that the journey of being an artist isn't just a scripted journey. It's a spontaneous one that just requires you to be a natural human being. Just open your heart and let it flow. Get out of your own way, you know? So I'm still learning that, and I hope to teach myself while also teaching all the watchers at the same time while producing this content.
And as an artist, how do you go about creating through that spontaneous, like universal energy versus also meeting deadlines and making sure you're held accountable?
Great question, man. I think it takes practice in both. So I time block and I dedicate certain times to certain parts of the creative process. So when I need to be creative and not have any boundaries and not worry about times or names or how I'm gonna do it or where I'm gonna be to record it, I'm zoned into that. Give me 2 hours straight writing. I'm not worried about the name of the song. I'm not worried about what it's going to be, who's going to be on it, what's the just flow. Get out of your own way. But then, one, we're done with that process. I make it known in my mind. We're done with this part of the process. This next time block, I am dedicating to the specifics, you know? And what are going to be the details? And how are we going to make this idea become something that's complete and shareable? And that's when those details come into light. When are we going to put it out? What's the deadline? How long are the songs going to be? What's the attention span look like when you listen to it over? Where do you see that there's some faultiness and that we could sharpen things up? So I think what's really important about that question is being able to separate and notice that we are meshing two worlds that are not necessarily compatible. So let's approach them like they're two different worlds.
I actually love that because that enables you to get out of that perfection state that I feel like most creative people have of like it's not done, it's not done. Then you're continuously going back and you're saying, no, it's done. I don't care how much I want to go back and change it. We're moving on to the next thing. And we're moving like out of that state. And before you go and you start creating that and you take that step like into that first stage of creating a song, what do you do to make sure you are in that creative flow?
Great question. It honestly depends. A lot of the times, I love to get sunlight. I love to go outside. I love to feel the energy of the earth. You know, like I said, living life is the best inspiration. So, whether it's a good or bad day, whether I've been through something the last couple of days or it's been a normal couple of days, I like to get out, get active, move my body, listen to other things that inspire me, maybe even watch a movie. Sometimes a film will
Yeah.
inspire me, you know, and I need to get my pen moving a little bit and I just start writing and then I feel here I'm in the zone. And I can't lie at all. I know this is a remedy for a lot of us artists. Cannabis, man. Shout out to marijuana. Cannabis is a great fuel of creativity for someone like me. It really gets my mind moving, and I have an ability to be even more flowy at times. So I think, yeah, cannabis, sunlight, love. And love comes from listening to things I love, watching things I love, spending time with my younger family, my little brother, my mom. Like these are all inspirations that can really put me in a great creative zone, you know. And
Yeah.
it's subconscious, man. It's subconscious. That's what's crazy about art and creativity. It's like you would never think like, oh, spending time with my mom is going to inspire me to write a great song, even if I write a song about something that doesn't have to do with my mom. But I love my mom and my mom loves me, and that love lives in my heart beyond that moment. So when I create after, it gives me something beautiful to, you know, to blast off from. It gives me a great platform to take off from, you know?
Well, you don't know how she's affecting you vibrationally and what vibe she's giving, what thoughts are there, because that all matters. Even though we can't see it, she might be in that loving state, and then that inspires you to then create something else that you weren't even thinking about. And to go more of the industry, as you get deeper into the music industry, are you ever nervous you'll slip into the satanic ways of like Hollywood and things like that?
No, I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I know myself very well, and I come from roots that are rooted in truth and love and peace and purity. And we're all human beings. We all have the capacity for evil in us. I'm not saying that I'm a complete light being. You know what I mean? I have the yin and yang. I have the darkness in me that I toy with as well to try to work it to my advantage. But when it comes to satanic, no, not at all. I'm a creature of light. I have my darkness, but I'm a creature of light, and I know I'm here to spread love, and I know I'm here to bring light and bring love to situations. I have dark parts of me that when I share the darkness, it brings light to others or it brings light to myself. So I'm never really worried about the satanic part because, bro, I like nice things and I like to have a good time, but money's not everything to me. I
Yeah.
love beautiful women, but I don't really care that much, man. I don't need to be out flexing for nobody. I don't need a chain to be Nour. I don't need hot women to be Nour. I'm Nour as I am, you know? I could put down the mic today and I'm proud of who I am, you know? And so I think that that's why I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about what it looks like to the youth, not out of my
Yeah.
perspective, but I think of just what it does to the overall subconscious. You know, I think people have gotten a lot better at realizing that the world doesn't always reward purity or truth. And
Yeah.
that's where my fear comes from. Is some people are like, why would I even be a good person if people who sin get what they want? You know? So I wouldn't say I'm worried about it though. You know, I'm pretty grounded in a great place thanks to my family.
And I think that is just the way, in like my opinion, if you lead everything with pure intentions, you're going to succeed long term. And maybe success might not look like what you think it does, but I think the universe is going to take care of you, right? If you lead with that kindness, lead with that love, and it's going to give you what you need.
I agree. I agree. Even though the universe communicates in a strange way, it doesn't communicate
Yes.
in words, right? And so when we see it communicate in ways of, money and material, you look and you're like, why do horrible people seem to be getting all the things,
Yeah.
you know? But we never know what's behind closed doors. And I hate to be cliche, but I think we've all understood now life's not fair, man. Chance and whatever we call luck and the energy of the universe plays a big part in where we're standing right now. We didn't choose to be who we are, and I'm blessed enough to be who I am with a loving family, and it just is what it is, and it's a beautiful thing that we're able to experience it, but it still isn't fair and it's still confusing.
Yeah. And kind of on that same point, there was a huge shift in the rap style from the 80s to the 90s when gangster rap was introduced. How do you think that has played a role in society today, especially when it comes to the youth?
Mm, love that question, man. Um, I'd say it played a role in like the free spirit push. I think that it went from being another art form that was more creative that people didn't understand. They took that misunderstanding into, you know what, we're going to talk about our hardships. We're going to talk about this police brutality. We're going to wear this racism on our shirt and let you know we're not standing for this shit. And there was some different type of rebel energy push that came with that transition coming into gangster shit. And sure, the outcome wasn't always pretty, but sometimes things got to get uglier for things to get better. And I just felt like that was a time where the youth felt like we're not going to stand here and take shit anymore. I feel this way, but haven't been able to say it. But now my idols are saying it. So now I got the balls to say it. I don't want to
Do you
live like
ever
this anymore.
do you ever think that was a push from the industry, either to fill up private prisons, either to make people um, more violent than they should be, things like that?
That's a great question too. I think it could go both ways. I've had that thought come in my mind before Like, was this a planned, was it a scheme? Um, and it could be, but honestly, I don't know. I just think that when things get that big, it's just uncontrollable. Could there have been a seed planted with the rest of the seeds of that batch that was a bad seed that had bad intention? Sure. But do I think it was in the hand of human beings? Yes.
Interesting, because I've watched some stuff where Ice Cube talks about it
Mm,
and how he kind of talks about how, and like obviously you don't know what's true and false, but if you kind of look at how private prisons are ran and who owns the entire world, aka BlackRock. Um, and then you look at what Ice Cube talked about in some videos. He talks about how it was kind of like an industry plant, how his rap group kind of was the forefront of that push of just the negativity that was spread through rap in the in that time period.
that's really interesting. You'll definitely need to send that over to me.
Yeah,
I would love to see that specific clip you're talking about.
yeah, no, for sure. And to go personal, back in 2013, you posted about your mom on Facebook. It says, "We always have each other's backs, and never forget that I'm always here for you if you need anyone to talk to." What is one thing your mom did to change your life that you've never told her?
Wow. Wow. What's one thing that my mom did to change my life that I've never told her? Man, this is a hard one because she's done so much, and I feel like I'm very grateful, and I feel like I vocalize it a lot. But honestly, let's keep it simple, man. Believing in me. Believing in me to the fullest. I've told my mom, thank you for believing in me, but like, now my mom instilled it in me, man. Like, looks me in the eyes, like, you're special. You're a leader, not a follower. You tell people the right way to walk. You don't walk behind people. And that type of advice, bro, is priceless, man. Priceless. And I think that confidence like that and the love that she instilled in me, like passionate, loud, big smiles, big hugs, big gifts, something about that makes my being radiate love. And I can feel my mom in a lot of the actions that I bring to this world. Most of the positive actions I bring to this world, I feel my energy rooted in my mother's energy, man. So I guess I've never been able to articulate it like that because of such a great question that you just asked me. She's never asked me in that way, but yeah, that touched my heart. Beautiful question, man. I love that.
Let's go. Let's go. I fucking love it, man. And it's um just seeing you, and then you talk about your mother and how much she impacted you and changed your life, if that's emotionally, if that's spiritually, or if that's things that she might have told you like that affected, your physical being. It's just beautiful to see you out here saying how much she actually supported you. Like, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, man. It's obvious to me, and it's something that needs to be said and needs to be put out there because without her there's no me, obviously physically, but
Yeah,
no, seriously, like the plug behind it and the amount of dedication that she puts in to make sure that I'm not just okay, but that I'm great and that I remember that I'm great. She's still a really strong-minded mama. Don't think mama ain't hard on me because she's hard on me
yeah,
for sure. But that's what makes me great. She's hard on me with the love, she's hard on me with the discipline, and she's hard on me with the action, man. She tells me you got to go get it. You got to be a
yeah,
hustler. I can tell you your whole life you're amazing. But if you don't get up, trust that you're amazing, and apply that amazingness to anything, cool. Good for you. But what are you? you know, a bunch of words. So she's about it. She talks about it. She is about it. And I, she leads by example, man. I just try to follow in those footsteps.
I love it. I have two more questions for you.
Great.
How do you want to be remembered when you take your last breath?
A lover, a
Why?
lover, someone who can, someone who can listen, a great listener, a lover, a piece of a pure world where people can feel comfortable to be themselves around him. people will look at me and be like, that man listened to me in times where I felt like I was going to be judged and looked me in my eyes like nothing changed. You know, he gave me energy, advice, a look in my eyes that made me feel listened to, appreciated, whatever it is, with decency and with dignity.
That's a good one. I have one more question for you.
Great, bro.
If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
Wow. One from the past and one from the present. Ah, man. I would say my one from the past is my uncle that passed away. His name is Nihad. Rest in peace. I love you, man, and I miss you. And I know you're looking down proud. I just miss you, man, and I wish you could see everything that we've been doing. You'd be so proud of me and mom, and I know you are proud of us, but I just want to see it on your face. So I'd love to have dinner with you again, man. And another person that I think that could sit at that table with us at this moment. Will be Marshall Mathers, man. Eminem. That's who I need too. That was a father figure outside of my father figure. And even though yet Eminem doesn't know I exist yet, that would be another person that I'd love to sit at the table with because the impact of the personality and the impact of the art and just wouldn't be the same Nour without him. So those two people would be a crazy dinner table, crazy blunt rotation.
I love the uncle one, man. I always love when people pick the family members because it means something to them. Like I want to have another conversation with this person. But those are all the questions I have. Nor, how can people find you, and what is one thing you want to leave people with?
Yes, so you guys can find me everywhere on socials. That's Nourrakha. On Instagram, I put an extra R in between Nour and Rakha, so it'd be Nourrakha. And then on TikTok, same thing, but it'll be Nour Rakha Music. Um, and sorry, could you repeat that the last part of the question?
What is one thing you want to leave people with?
One thing I want to leave people with: love is the only law. And one more thing, I love this quote, and I feel like we all need to hear it sometimes. And we've all heard it, but if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Beautiful. That that's awesome. Great ending. Well, North, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate the conversation, and you know, always here to support and just watch your journey. Thank you.
Of course, brother, anytime for you. Literally, anytime for you, my man.
Awesome.